welcome to Manchester Language Centre. Please click that subscribe button, support us, help us, we really appreciate the support. Thank you. Hi, welcome to Manchester Language Centre. Today we're going to do some basic conversation and how to do a basic introduction of oneself. Okay? It's not difficult in the slightest. Just listen, repeat, remember and apply. Nothing more. So, whenever I have a class, if I see my students coming in, which sometimes I do, maybe I walk upstairs with them, or if we're waiting for other students to arrive, obviously we're going to use that time. And what I like to do is to have a basic conversation every single time and have the same conversation. And you see in a small amount of time that it becomes second nature. That conversation has 4 parts. The first one is a simple repetition. The second and the third are at minimum 1-word answers, but as time goes by you can push and push for more and more information. The fourth is a 4-part answer. Okay? So we go from the absolute bare minimum to minimum of conversation. Once that gets to a certain point and students know it, they know how to respond, then like I said, you can push it. Okay? So my basic conversation as students would come in would be, hello, and obviously basic repetition, hello, how are you? And that would be minimum 1 word. The most common response is good. What I normally do with the second and third is I don't allow repetition of responses. So for example, how are you today? Good. Next person, how are you today? They're not allowed to use the word good. Another word. It makes people take out their dictionaries, usually through panic. But what you also have is, if they know the rule of no repetition, once you get to that second question, or if you're engaging in conversation, then sometimes it's a problem to get people to speak. If they know that if they speak first, it's easier for them, then you normally get somebody putting their hand up because it's the easy one, and then you've got a starting point. It's a knock-on effect, so it's quite positive in general. So, hello, how are you? How was your day? Again, single word response, no big deal. You can say good. Obviously, if you speak English, you're well aware of what you can and can't say. But there is a massive amount of responses. The fourth would be, what did you do? So usually I would ask for 4 pieces of information as to what you have done today. If it's in the morning, then we will be speaking about yesterday. And if it's lunchtime to the evening or nighttime, then obviously we can speak about the day. So that would be, hello, hello. How are you? Good. How was your day? Good. And what did you do? Well, I got up at about 7:15. I took a shower. I had a bacon sandwich and a cup of coffee for breakfast. And then I planned the things that I needed to do for the day. That was done by about 8:30 in the morning. 4 pieces of information. I've not even left the house. So not difficult at all. If you get timid students, then you can allow them to do 2 for the first class, and then, So yeah, very, very simple stuff. Okay, so quite often in an English class, from the point of view of a student, you will be asked to give an introduction of oneself, how you give an introduction of yourself, with your personal information, not too personal, but how you give that in front of a class and how you use that on the street quite often differs. And we'll go through that as we go through different pieces of information. So the first thing is obviously hello. The second thing there would be my name is. So hello, my name is Daniel James Devine. But if I'm walking down the street and I kind of bump into somebody in a very informal way, I say, hello, my name is Daniel James Devine. Or if I say, oh, hello, I have 3 brothers, people will just look at me like you're crazy, obviously. But if we're in a formal setting, an educational environment where you're giving a presentation of yourself, then it's a little bit more formal. How you utilize that information in a real world scenario, like I said, is a little different. However, hello, my name is Daniel James Devine. So then we're going to do age. Okay? So in English, we would say, I am years old. So for example, I am 37 years old. But in Spanish, you're going to say, yo tengo 37 años, which is, I have 37 years. Which when you apply a little Germanic logic, then it's like you've got 37 years in your pocket. It's like, I've got 37 years. Do you want one? Which, obviously, it's funny at worst, you know. But then the logic, that Germanic logic, is lost in Latin logic. So when you say in Spanish, yo soy 37, it's, so the two of them, it's the same thing. Now, obviously, if you want to speak to somebody, you're going to hurdle those aspects. When you really want to speak to somebody, we ignore errors in the quality of language and pronunciation. Hello, my name is, I am years old. So then we have I am from. Now I am from is quite applicable to me because where I am from is not where I am. So the next one would be I live in. So those two things for me would change. For example, I am from Manchester, England. I live in Huancayo, Peru. However, a lot of students that are in the city are going to say, I am from Huancayo, Peru. I live in Huancayo, Peru. So sometimes it's applicable, sometimes it's not. Okay? It really depends on you and yourself. So then we have the family aspect. Now, if you're familiar with a country like England or the United States or any first level country, you're going to know that certain pieces of personal information you don't give out. It's not correct. If you met somebody on the road, you know, if you met somebody and you said, "Hi, my name's Dan. This is my phone number." You know, so that type of personal information. It's applicable and non-applicable at the same time. It depends on your scenario, it depends on your ability to read said scenario and apply said information. But what is kind of normal if you're presenting to a classroom, you're introducing yourself, is to give a little information about your family. Now what is normally taught is brothers and sisters. It is, for some reason, strange to say my mother's name is, my father's name is, and it's less strange to say I have 4 brothers and 12 sisters. I'm not entirely sure why, it's just one of these things. However, we're going to say brothers, sisters, okay? So I have quantity brothers, I have quantity sisters. So for me, it would be 0, because I am an only child. So for me, it would be I have 0 brothers and 0 sisters. But we wouldn't say 0, we would say no. So I have no brothers and no sisters. However, that's going to change obviously per present. So it could be I have 4 brothers and 4 sisters. So that's obviously going to change considerably per student because everybody has different families. Okay? The last thing that I like to put in there to do with this type of presentation. If a teacher's not expecting it, then it goes a long way. And what that is in 10 years, I will be. Also, from a teaching point of view, when you're teaching that, it's a great way to get to know your students, to connect with them, and to make them comfortable. Because obviously, the more comfortable a student is, the faster they're going to learn, the better they're going to have as far as a time and experience, which is reflective of you, which is reflective of your teaching, which is reflective, therefore, of the institute that you're working for, representing, or have created in this case. So, that is the first aspect. So the second aspect is the 10 years. If it was in another country, then that would change. 10 years is relevant to Peru simply because of the time it takes to study. So to do a bachelor's degree is a minimum of 5 years, which is a long time. You study medicine at 6, you want to become a specialist in medicine at 7. That's not including a master's degree or anything like that, that's just university for a bachelor's degree. So I know somebody, for example, that studied dentistry or orthodontology, and she received her license, her operational license, about 3 months ago, something like that, roughly about Christmas time, give or take, after 10 years of study. A long time to study. Again, which is reflective of the course that was designed. It's designed about quality, access to quality of information and its application. You can study for 10 years, and if you have access to poor quality information, you're not going to learn anything. Or you can study for 12 months, or 24 months, 3 years, 4 years. If you have access to quality of information, you're always going to come out of that situation at a much higher level. So that is why in 10 years I will be. So in 10 years I will be a multi-millionaire with my own island and a golden helicopter. But everyone's going to be different. So a lot of students are 17, they're going into university because English is obligatory in Peru. Then 10 years, the most common answer is going to be, I will finish my studies. Maybe sometimes a master's degree, but more often than not, no. I will finish my studies and I will be starting my career. The way that people use the word career here in Peru, it's not quite the same as in English. It's the same subject, but a career is used more in the past tense. A career is something you look back on in English, whereas in Spanish, a career is something you look forward to. So now we're going to recap the 2 segments that we've learned today. Okay, basic conversation. So I'm not going to give the answers, I'm going to speak to you, you give me the answers. Okay, if you make a mistake, you just rewind and do it again. So, hello, how are you? How was your day? What did you do? Okay, so with the last one, that's 4 pieces of information. Okay? Then we have the introduction, which is, hello, my name is Daniel James Devine. I am 37 years old. I am from Manchester, England. I live in Huancayo, Peru. I work at Manchester Language Centre. I am an English teacher. I'm also the president of Manchester Language Centre. Then I have no brothers and no sisters, and in 10 years' time, hopefully I will be retired and nice and comfortable. So yeah, that's it. That's it for today. Basic conversation, how to introduce yourself in a formal educative environment. Thank you very much. Please don't forget to subscribe. Have a nice day. Thank you.